committed terrible crimes, and the Constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America institutionalizes this, there are legal means in which they should be tried and, if convicted, punished for the crimes that they've committed, including crimes against humanity and war crimes and the rest of it. But it's not a matter of individuals taking revenge. If we go down that road, it's the same problem I was just speaking to. Then you get back to the ends justify the means. Any means are justified because of what we suffered. And let's be honest. When you talk about how we got to struggle with masses of people, this is going to be one of the sharpest focus of struggle, especially with people who have been so badly fucked over under the present system, including by people who do have a little bit better position than them. I mean, this is one thing also, going way back to the woke thing. What should our focus be on, micro or macro? You see, macro means the large picture. Micro means the smallest picture. A lot of these people are focused on all the microaggressions. Okay, nobody should put up with people being racist toward them or, patriarchal toward them, misogynist. Nobody should put up with that in their personal relations. But where is your eye focused? It should be focused on the big macro, the big picture of what's going on to masses of people. That should be where your orientation and your focus is. On the thousands of people that are, the 1,000 people who are murdered every year by the police, a disproportionate number of black, brown, and Native American, many of them unarmed. The millions of people who are mass incarcerated, the people who are discriminated against, segregated, denied any kind of a decent life, forced to live in poverty or even homeless, the women who are subjected to battering and rape and all the rest of it. Those are the bigger things that our attention should be focused on in terms of uprooting all of this. And yes, with it, we'll transform these microaggressions too. But our focus has to be on the big picture. The macro means big, the big picture. So this is also very important. What was I saying before? Generosity of spirit. Okay, let's get back to that. Well, you can see how this figures in here. What is this revolution about? Why should we have generosity of spirit? Because we're emancipators of humanity. We're not about, settling scores. We're not about, ripping into people for things they've done wrong. If they've done wrong, they need to be held accountable. But we also need to struggle to transform people. That's what this revolution is about. And the generosity of spirit flows from that. If you understand that we're seeking to uproot, it both flows from it and is necessary to reinforce it. But let me put it that way. If you understand that what we're out to do is to uproot all this exploitation and oppression, then you should have a largest of mind, including learning from everything you can learn and everyone you can learn from, but also a generosity of spirit, recognizing that people, contrary to what's often said these days, people can and do change. I can sit here and give you examples of multiple people that I know, including myself for that matter, but other people I know from the 60s and so on and since, who've undergone major transformation, major changes, people who are into really bad shit, or supporting really bad things, people who were Goldwater supporters back in the 1960s who became radicals and revolutionaries through the course of the 60s, soldiers who, in Vietnam committed terrible atrocities, as I've said before. Go down the line. People can transform. And one of the dimensions of generosity of spirit is recognizing that. And then, okay, it's perfectly consistent with that, and in fact, an expression of it, that you're going to struggle like hell with people to get them to transform, exactly because you do recognize that they can and that they need to. You're not going to be liberal. It doesn't do any good to be liberal with people. People don't need any more social workers. I'm not saying all social workers do bad things, just to be clear, but that's not what communists need to be. That's not what people recognize the need for overturning this whole system, uprooting it, and bringing a different system into being. Don't need to be, just, giving people some kind of solace or something, or, being liberal with them. When people talk bullshit, they should be told they're talking bullshit because it's harmful. It's harmful to them, but it's harmful to much, much greater numbers of people when people are caught up in bullshit. So why should we hesitate to struggle with people? If you have respect for people, You will struggle with them. It's a lack of respect for people if you don't struggle with them when you know they're doing things that are fucked up. If you really respect people and understand the potential for them to change, you will struggle like hell with people. And we can all sit here and know that we've all been struggled with, by people, who at the time had a better, were coming from a better place than us. You go back to anybody's history. You land, you get where you are now to being an emancipator of humanity. You weren't born that way, and you didn't spontaneously go that way. People fought with you. People struggled with you, and you learned from them. So, to me, it's the highest respect for people if you struggle. Not if you just try to tear them down. Not if all your concern is like proving that you're superior to them or that they're just worthless and irredeemable and all this kind of bullshit. But if you actually understand that they can and must change, then you have enough respect for them to struggle like hell with them, to actually act in their own interests and the interests of the broad mass of people and ultimately all humanity. So you're going to struggle like hell with them for that.